AI. What the fuck is it? Is it an input reading cheap ass? Does it freak out when it doesn't know what to do? Gamers have tried to identify what is AI for many generations. But the more important question is, can it microwave a pizza by itself? No, it can't. Well, I don't know, maybe. So the other day I saw on Reddit there were people making these posts on AI generated art, and I figured, well damn, free good looking modern art? That ain't a bunch of polka dots? Where do I sign up? Some of these pieces of art just boggles the mind, so I decided to try my hand to see how the process worked. And keep in mind, this is not an ad, it's not sponsored in any way. I wish it was, but it ain't. I entered some keywords like a humongo frog, and I think it came out fantastic. It probably belongs in a museum of modern art, but to be quite honest, I think it's too good for that. AI just seems to be good at art, or rather abstract art. Also, obviously, we can't forget about Wizard City. That's a classic. It does look like a city, so it has that down, I guess. One other thing I've noticed about this peculiar AI is that it can figure out misspellings or get an idea of what you're talking about. For example, if I typed in Crocotopia, which is a world in Wizard101, it faintly paints a picture of a crocodile. There are a few limits though, like Mushu. I get cows go you know what, but the AI doesn't register that, and maybe it does, but it sure doesn't look like a cow. It's more of a deformed horse straight out of Dark Souls. I also typed in bald man for fun, and well, I don't know, it's not a bald man. Maybe it's supposed to be a Rorschach ink block test. So moving along, one common thing I've been noticing a lot of lately for the past few months or so is people having multiple accounts or characters sidling idly by watching people menacingly. I'm not sure why this has become a thing, but it kinda reminds me of the spirits or ghosts in one of those Japanese or Korean horror movies where the people disturb the dead. Except in this case, they haunt Wizard101 for some reason. I can't really imagine it being ill intent or some sort of trolling, but I don't really get the reason why people would do this. Well, actually, I do have an idea as to why. These aren't bots that are registered to follow on command by their supreme overlord or pulled on the strings of their puppet master. Rather, they are usually controlled by one person. They aren't questing with those characters either, so it does make me wonder. This is pure speculation, but since pets are a high commodity, people will make multiple accounts so that they can offer them on the Wizard101 black market for currency. And that currency is known as empowers. So for people who don't know what empowers are, they're basically trading cards that are worth a lot of gold in Wizard101. The problem with the game's economy is that the only way to technically circulate gold around is through trading cards, and empowers are really the only way to do that, because no other trading card in Wizard101 is easy to get and worth that much. Empowers are used in many transactions, from crown items, rare treasure cards, to even pet hatches, or now more so pet lending. And who knows, maybe you can get some illegal stuff on the real black market with empowers. So my theory on it is simple, is that the more accounts you have to work with, the more empowers you can get, because a single account for pet lending is limited to 3 per day, per character, and you can have up to 6 or 7 characters per account, which is the main bottleneck for the upscale operation. If you think about it, it's actually quite a loophole to circumvent and make more money. I mean, empowers to fuel your virtual money needs, I guess. Maybe I'm overthinking it, or maybe I'm not, but it's just interesting to see how players manage to create these loopholes, because I've seen so many glitches and exploits in the game that are worth mentioning. Not in this video, but maybe in the future. We'll see. There's also quite a few number of benefits to having more than one account, such as getting extra referral crowns when you spend money on that account. Crowns being the main microtransaction currency in Wizard101. Then you got your free extra storage space for items, treasure cards, and the number one thing of it all, it's technically free. Unlike most things in Wizard101. You may not be able to have shit in Wizard101, but at the very least you can have a second account, and then a third account, and fourth, and so on. So what's interesting about it though is that this thing is technically common in MMOs because, as mentioned before, there's so many benefits to making more than one account. So take for example Elder Scrolls Online. I've seen so many people do their daily quests for materials and then store and transfer them. that people would make like 8 or 9 accounts just to spend like 30 minutes a day for that one account. And it does add up with the more accounts you have. In a nutshell, the more accounts you have, the more money you can make in-game. Anyway, that about does it for this video. Is there anything that you thought was weird in Wizard101 or any game in general? Comment down below, I'd love to hear about it. But other than that, I hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys.